Okay, joining us now is Carl Edwards, and Carl drives the number 19 Aris Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And Carl, certainly, as we were talking about here a minute ago, this probably ranks one of your favorite racetracks, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean that picture's a little hidden with the coffee machine and the donuts over there, but that was a change, like turning point in my life right there, that moment. So this place is it's fun, and it's as good as ever. I mean, it's fun to drive here, and I like it.
And just talk, you talk about this racetrack. What about this track sets it apart in your mind to make the racing good here?
Well, it's just it's a fast track with a lot of character. There's not the corners aren't perfect. There's bumps and seams and spots with no grip and spots with a ton of grip, and it's not perfect. It's got character, and it's just when you throw the car down in the corner here, you toss that thing in sideways at 195 miles an hour, and you got to manage your tires. It's just a real fun racetrack. If you don't have the fastest car in one area, you can make it up somewhere else, and you just have to drive the whole way. It's a good place to race.
That's right in your wheelhouse, isn't it? That type of driving.
Yeah, it's good. To me, we could race here every week. I'd be happy. So I love it.
Questions for Carl Edwards? We'll take Rick Minner, and then we'll come over here to the Jeff and Bob. Go ahead, Rick Minner, right here. Dana.
Rick Minner, Racing Day. Carl, if it comes down to you and somebody else on a last lap shootout, is the outside still the groove to take?
It's going to be tough, because what's happened is what happens here is you go out there right now. When we went out this morning, the track's green from top to bottom. It's got a ton of grip, and then as we run, the rubber fills in and it gets slicker the more people run in certain areas. So the groove migrates around, and I think by the end of the race, there are enough guys now that go run the top that the top gets a little worn out. You've got to really search around and find grip. So it kind of depends on the cycle. When you start the race, everybody will run the bottom. They'll move up. And then if everybody moves to the top, they'll get that worse, and everybody will move back down, and it kind of cycles through the event. But I'll tell you this. If I'm second driving under the white flag, whichever lane the guy goes in turn one, I'm going to go the opposite lane. I mean, that's what's neat about this place. You don't have to follow a guy. There's no perfect preferred line. You can make things work anywhere.
Over to the far right, Jeff, and then to Bob.
Jeff Gluck, USA Today. How did it feel compared to last year's package?
The car feels great. I'm still getting used to the seat and getting the wheel in the right position, and getting my steering box the right speed and all that stuff. But it feels good. The new package is a little bit different. It feels like we have more on throttle time, so we're not out of the throttle as much. So I've got to get used to that a little bit here. It changes the way you drive this place. Being on the throttle a little bit more. Also looks like we're being real hard on tires right now, so we'll have to kind of manage that and watch how that goes this second session. But everything seems pretty good. Yeah, I don't really keep track. Where the speeds are about the same, or right. Right now it's cool. Track is pretty green. I think you'll see this afternoon the speeds will drop off quite a bit, just because it'll get rubbered up. Everybody can make fast laps right now running the top, but these cars just get faster and faster, and they still have a big splitter and a big spoiler, and and real sticky tires, and it's just. Even when you take away a little bit of power, we're making so much speed in the middle of the corner. I mean, it's really fast there. I think NASCAR is heading in the right direction, though, by cutting the spoilers down. I think the farther we go that direction, the better it's going to get. Bob
Pockris.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. As a teammate, have you had a chance to talk to Kyle? And if you have, how are his spirits? And have you talked with Joe about doing any Xfinity races that he's going to miss?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Kyle. I texted him. I mean, I saw the Twitter picture of him being loaded in the airplane just like everybody else. Looks like he's in as good a spirits as he could be in. I think he's handling it really well from what I can see. As far as the Xfinity races, I told him that I'd do whatever they needed me to do, but I don't know if they need me to do anything yet. Looks like they've got a pretty good plan.
Chris Knight, right here.
ChrisKnightCatchFans.com. Carl, it seemed like after last weekend at Daytona, you guys were really strong, and then just got shuffled back at in the end of the run. Were you disappointed about how Daytona ended up?
I was real disappointed in the finish, especially because I thought we finished about 12th. Somebody said we were 24th or 23rd. I it felt like we ran better than that all day. And that final caution, everybody started wrecking, and I was fortunate to get stopped basically and not be in it. But I think quite a few guys, kept rolling and ended up in front of us when NASCAR set the field. So, but I don't think I could have done anything differently. But overall, the performance was really good. We had a fast car. I picked the wrong lane there at the end a couple of times, ended up shuffled back, but we had a really good car, and I was real happy with the whole effort. Yeah, like I said, I haven't talked to Kyle. We texted back and forth really briefly, and then I've just seen everything you guys have seen with Twitter and everything. It seems like he's in pretty good spirits.
Stan and then Rick.
Stan Creekmore with Competition Plus. You talked about everything else around the track except for the comfort level. How is the comfort level, and will that get better or worse as the days go by?
I've been really looking forward to this day because this is the first day I've really been able to compete against the field in this new car, and we weren't as fast as I'd like to be yet. So we've got to go out here in this next practice and really focus. And then tonight, hopefully I can sit back and digest and pick a couple of things out that are going to make me better tomorrow. I wanted to be at the top of that board this practice, and we weren't. So there are a couple of things we still need to work on. So, yeah, comfort levels, it's not real low. It's not real high. It's kind of in the middle right now.
Let's go to Rick right here and then to Paul.
Rick Mentor Race Day. Carl, you and Matt are getting one of your teammates back for the time being anyway with David Ragan. Did y'all endorse him, speak up for him ahead of time, or was that a surprise to y'all? And how do y'all figure your previous relationship will help you in the next few weeks?
Well, David has a lot of experience. He's a great teammate, and when his name was brought up, a lot like when they brought up Matt Crafton, I thought, man, that's a great guy to be in that race car. So yeah, my vote was to put David in the car, and the way I understand it, everybody felt the same way. It's not a good position to be in to have to go find a driver, but everybody's really excited about having David there.
Paul?
I'm just curious, how is approaching a race like this mentally after you've had Daytona? Is it tough to get back up again? Obviously you guys do it a little differently with having a race like that at the beginning of the schedule, but what's the mindset coming in after you've had a race like that?
Well, Daytona is so different, and we're there for so long, you get used to that style of racing. So the first couple of laps here are pretty exhilarating, to be honest with you. I mean, you've got to catch your breath because you drive down the corner here, and you're not flat on the floor, just picking the best line. You've got to drive the car down in the corner and manhandle it and slide it sideways and deal with all the balance and things like that. So it takes a couple of laps to get used to this place and get comfortable. It's this is a big, fast, scary racetrack, and it's not. There's no place to be comfortable here. So it is kind of an eye opener.
Let's go to Kenny and then Kelly.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Carl, how does your car change during the course of a run here? Does it get tight? Does it get loose? Do you hope for it to stay the same?
You could write a book about how the cars change, not just through the course of a run, but through a race. This place, different. Whether you're on the high line or the low line, the cars change a lot. Depends on which tires you're abusing the most. But I've had cars that have gotten extremely loose off the corners here. As you run, you just feel like your right rear is flat. So that's something you got to manage. Your right front, you can definitely, if you're tight, you can definitely abuse your right front. It's a really tough place to manage the tires. And this is pure racing. Yes, and when you add that dimension of tire management and understanding how to balance how aggressive you are with the tires, when you put that in the driver's hands, it makes it more fun, I think, and gives you another thing to try to be good at during the race. But yeah, you can definitely upset any of the tires you want to and make things harder for yourself.
Right here, Dana, Kelly, and then back to Jeff.
Kelly Crandall from PopularSpeed.com. Carl, you and the team spent 11 days together in Daytona, but how important is it today to get this extra opportunity to be in the garage and work together from that standpoint?
This was a big deal to have this day, and I think it's a good way they structured it. NASCAR has, to allow everybody to come here and to run on the racetrack we're going to race on this weekend. It's we get to put a little more rubber on the racetrack. But for us in particular, it's a great test. I mean, these few hours are I mean, they're worth a lot to us. Just because it's a new team and all that for me.
Over here to the right, Jeff Gluck.
I was wondering about the new track bar. Have you played with that at all? And
Yes, I did.
What does it feel like?
It doesn't move fast enough. So I was going down the straightaway watching the numbers, and I wanted to move it about 2 inches. And I thought, well, I guess I'll just keep the button down. But then I couldn't look at the number anymore, so I was driving through the corner with the track bar, going up. And to be honest with you, I think that's going to be an opportunity for us drivers to screw ourselves up more than it is to help us. I ended up playing with it for a few laps and then put it right back where it was because it wasn't doing exactly what I wanted it to do. What's that? My switch is on my steering wheel, which I want it to be easy to get to. The one thing I'm nervous about is inadvertently laying on it during the race. That could be disastrous. So the other thing that makes me nervous is the switch sticking or something, have your track bar go all the way to one end or the other. So I probably will not mess with mine too much.
Any other questions for Carl? Well, Carl, thanks for coming in. Good luck with the rest of the tests. Certainly good luck this weekend in Atlanta.
All right. Thank you, guys.